Well, I'm back on the trail after a week away for family graduation and a few other matters. And there should be one thing fairly obvious to everyone, and that is just how much the trail has changed as it relates to the vegetation around the trail. Of course, months ago, it was stark brown. There wasn't a thing of green, and we had a long, delayed spring. And when I was in the Shenandoah a week or two ago, the leaves started popping, and it's been warm and rainy. And now everything, all the lower growth, and of course the tunnel has been formed with all these leaves, and it's just very obvious the first few moments back just how green everything has become. The other thing is it's hot and humid, and I have always been concerned about hiking in the heat and the humidity. One of the reasons I wanted to leave early. So leaving early gave us some cool weather, and of course the really, really cold weather. Hopefully, spring has not passed us by, and this is just a unseasonable stretch of hot, humid weather in Virginia. I am marching north, hoping to get to Pennsylvania soon, and then on to New Jersey, New York, and beyond. And hopefully it will be cooler in the north. So anyway, that was the immediate impression I had when I started on the trail about 30 minutes ago, just how green it's become. So I'll be back. Okay, as I always say, you don't catch all the great scenes. Sometimes they're clouded in, and sometimes you hit them right. It's early morning, looking west over the Shenandoah Valley, and just a magnificent morning. The weather has certainly changed. It's now warm, if not very humid. I was dreading these days. I keep hoping that we have a little spring before summer, but yesterday and today were pretty hot and humid. Well, I thought I'd show you a little bit of the trail today. It's been a very nice, easy trail. A lot of downhill after an uphill. And had threatening rain yesterday, and very humid and hot. And today we've got clearing weather, nice breeze. It's not too hot. And we're going through a state park here, Sky Meadows. And the trail is in really nice shape. And even though yesterday we had incredibly muddy trails, many times the trails were completely flooded, many times the trails were running water. Thankfully today the trails are a little muddy, just very, very little bit of mud. It makes a very soft surface, and we've got this beautiful breezy blue sky. It's just a lovely day for hiking. Got a fairly ambitious day planned. I'm going to go about 18 miles and stop at Bear's Den Hostel, which is kind of a special stop on the Appalachian Trail. It's a stone building that's owned by the ATC and right on the trail. And we also are going to be climbing through the roller coaster today. We're no longer in the Shenandoah Park. We're north of there. And there's a section, 13-mile section, a little bit before you get to maybe about 20 miles, well, more than that, 30 miles before you get to Harper's Ferry. There's a section of the trail it's called the roller coaster, and it's a series of many short ups and downs for a 13-mile stretch. And people often talk about dreading that part of the trail. In the shelter last night, we were talking to some southbounders, and everyone seemed to be saying that the trail is a whole lot more manageable than all the rumors. And after climbing some of the mountains we've climbed down in the southern Appalachian Mountains, I'm not too concerned. We just it's more a mental challenge of realizing every time you go up and go down that you're going to have to do it again a few times. So anyway, thought it was a pretty day, just another sort of typical day on the trail in some respects. The weather's nice, but you can see again how the vegetation is really filled in. And we don't have views all the time, but when we do have one, I'll try to highlight it. Okay, I don't know how well you can see this. If you look through the trees there, you can see the double blazes. So we're headed towards that tree, and this is the trail today. So we have to maneuver these things sometimes, and off we go. How's this for hiking on the Appalachian Trail? This is Leesburg Turnpike, kind of west of Northern Virginia. I don't think we're going to be on here very long, but up early, and I think it's rush hour here, so just showing you all the aspects of the hike. Well, I don't know if you can read this sign. It says,
the smartphones, if you squish, you can open them up, and they do pretty well.
It says, hiker warning, you are about to enter the roller coaster, built and maintained by the trail boss and his crew of volunteers. Have a great ride. Yesterday, we entered the roller coaster and did 10 miles of it.
Yeah.
And finished 10 miles at the Bear's Den Hostel, which is a great hostel. I will say it was one of the hardest days I've had out here. It was a 18-mile day, but with all the hills, the roller coaster was very steep. Many places steep up and steep down, and by the end of the day I was tired and really kind of cranky, and probably the first time in the trip that I really said, do I want to keep doing this? It was that hard. But today's another day. We had good weather yesterday. It was a little bit warm, but a cool breeze. This morning it's been a little cooler with less breeze, but pretty good for hiking. You can't blame it on the weather. But fortunately, I had a good stay at the hostel. Pizza, a pint of ice cream, and some rest, and I feel a lot better today, and just thought I'd report on the roller coaster and little mood swings that I've had. So I'll be back. Well, this is the end of the day. I put in a little over 12 hours of hiking and a little over 20 miles to get to Harper's Ferry, and this is really exciting. I'm up on the hill looking down at the river. Gonna go across the river and into the historic town of Harper's Ferry, where the ATC, Appalachian Trail Conservancy, is located. And most people consider this the psychological halfway point. So for me to get all the way up here, 1,024 miles, is just exciting time. And I'll try to show you some more scenes as we get closer to the river and the town. Okay, I'm down closer to the river now, and after last couple of weeks of rain, the river is obviously very swollen. The footbridge to leave Harper's Ferry was closed for 3 or 4 days this week, but it has reopened, so I'll be able to head north after I finish in Harper's Ferry. Okay, it's Saturday morning of Memorial Day weekend, and we're looking back, it's hard to see a little bit, looking back on the Sino Canal tow path, and here is the Potomac River, and I'm heading north on the tow path. It's a warm morning. I'm fearing a hot day. The whole week is projected to be hot and humid and thunderstorms every day, so mentally this is a real challenge for me this morning. I've left town with my pack as heavy as it's been because I've got 4 days of food, and the water today is limited. I've got to go 10 miles without a water source. So I've got 2 full liters of water, and of course that weighs 4.4 pounds itself. So my guess is my pack is over 35 pounds, and have been enjoying it lighter lately since I swapped out winter gear, and the last few days I had limited food. So I've really had to think about how to manage this week mentally with the heavy pack, the hot weather that we really haven't had until now, and not looking forward to the rocks and snakes that I've heard about in Pennsylvania. So I've spent the morning trying to put myself in a mental framework to overcome those challenges, and that's part of being out here. They say it's more mental than physical, and this is going to be a tough week, but I'm also looking forward to it because I've never hiked in Maryland or Pennsylvania, and then hopefully it's a little bit of time of exploration, seeing places I haven't seen. Virginia felt very familiar for a lot of reasons, from doing a lot of shakedown hikes, living in Virginia for a long time, even where I hadn't necessarily hiked on the Appalachian Trail, up in the Big Meadows or Skyland areas. I had been up there before, had done some day hikes or short backpacking trips in the Shenandoah during college. So it felt very familiar, and this doesn't feel familiar at all. And that's sort of a fun, challenging aspect of it. So I'm hoping that the newness and the opportunity to explore will overcome some of the physical and mental challenges that are out there the next couple of weeks. So they tell me that the topography is easier, and that should help. So next month we still have some guests coming out to hike, and that'll be fun. So just wanted to let you know how things were going. Leaving Harper's Ferry, heading north. Now I've knocked off North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, and West Virginia. I'm now in Maryland and should be in Pennsylvania in 2 days.